Going live today, calling in Luna Ray. Luna Ray is one of the 8 dragons that I am in contact with, and they have downloaded for me particular messages and methods, ways to cope. They call it the owner and operator's manual to your human, so that you can actually transcend and you can actually navigate your way through some of the really sticky stuff, some of the tough and the hard stuff of ascension. When we are removing our 3D skin and we're understanding, what's really going on here? Now, they all have a part in this, and Luna Ray has her part. Luna Ray is a wingless, pearlescent, adorable dragon that teaches us about our feelings. She is more than anything else. She was telling us that's just a feeling. That's just an energy. That's just a frequency. That's just a vibration. It can't hurt you. It can't swallow you up. You won't die. Luna Ray is amazing the way that she comes in when certain things are kicking off in your life, when you feel you can't cope, when you are going down into the swirly pit of your feelings and getting all panicky and really upset. So this is when Luna Ray comes in. So we're calling in Luna Ray today just to say, what is it that you want to share with us today? Now, she has 8 cards within, or 8 messages within the booklet that has come through for the 8 dragons to help us ascend, to help us transform, to help us the human operating in a very magical sense. And this is what they call practical magic, because you're remembering that you're intuitive, you're remembering who you are and what you came here for. And it's no small matter when you decide that you're going to do something in a different way. And sometimes that can be that you've had a soul intervention, that something's popped up for you, something's going wrong in your life, but all of this is coming to the surface to show you what your soul already knows. It's more than anything, this whole journey, the soul journey, and they're asking you to step up and remember who you are and how powerful you are. One of the main messages that Luna Ray, the beautiful pearly dragon, when I met her, she has more of a snake skin than the other dragons. You'll meet some of the others later on, but Bloom has like petals. She's like really velvety. Sovereign's also very velvety, but Luna Ray she's more like a snake skin, very warm, very comforting. And if you touch her, it's just, if you've ever touched a snake, it's just like that. It's just warm and malleable, and she can curl around you, and she's very, very, very magical. She really wants you to understand how to feel. Okay, here we go. This is her coming in. Humans live in a very narrow bandwidth of feelings. They have only allowed themselves a certain amount. Some people are really narrow because they're so terrified of feeling that you've blocked out all your feelings altogether. So terrified are you that you're going to get hurt that you've decided not to feel all the hurt feelings. But at the same time, what's happening is you have very sadly blocked the amount of love and joy and heart rejoicing and bliss and ecstasy and feeling in awe of your life and all of that goes with it. What I want to teach you as Luna Ray is how you feel safe to feel again. So you can just keep expanding and feel safer and expand and feel safer and expand and feel safer to feel again. Unfortunately, you've stopped feeling. You've just blocked all those feelings, and your soul is locked under the stairs in a cupboard, not being able to express all of these feelings that she wants to express and all these experiences just that delight her, like swimming in the ocean or eating gourmet food, or this is what you came here for. You came here to experience all of the feelings, the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're only energy. They're just feeling. And I want to remind you that you're still safe. You're safe, you're held, you're protected. And I, Luna Ray, want to show you how it's okay to just sit in the feeling of something and let it wash over you, and know that that's just something that's coming up from inside you that you can now let go of. I've shown Fiona how to do this. We've written this down in messages. We are not putting a plaster over your feelings using earthly terminology. We're not shutting down your feelings or putting a plaster over something to just make you feel good and happy and have all the joy, the fake joy, but to feel safe in feeling so much joy without worrying that you're just going to get so much pain because you felt so much joy. Your feelings are the deliciousness of your life. It allows you to feel the ecstasy. I'm showing Fiona now a picture of a child who's like crying 1 minute and tantrum 1 minute, then laughing its head off another minute. Safe to play with a doo-doo, safe to play with a cuddly toy, safe to throw the food around the room, safe not to feel that anyone's angry at you. It's just you're just experiencing what you're experiencing. I'm also showing Fiona another image that when we become adults, we become so serious. We don't want to show our emotions. We're frightened that that's a weakness, and that it's become a habit to live in a very low, narrow bandwidth of feelings. If you can look at the light spectrum, you've got the visible light, you've got infrared, ultraviolet, you can go into quite a wide spectrum of light. And when you're being telepathic, when you're being intuitive, when you're being a medium, when you're allowing all of that, when you feel safe to allow all of that, so that you can see us, the dragons, you can feel us in your presence, you can see angels and fairies and goblins and all of that. You can feel all of it, and you can feel the entities that are within you as well that you've held on to. Fiona's very good at allowing you to release those entities. We've given her the name exorcism, but I do understand that humans don't like the word exorcism very much. So an ejection and a detox, because Fiona comes from the world of detox, we've given her the word detox as well, so that you can detox those out of you so they just don't affect you anymore. The ideal way to be in your feelings, and we use Fiona's hands to show you, is to be in this column of light where all feelings are able to sort of go through you or around you, and you can sense them. You can be aware of the frequency and the vibration, but you still know where you are within all of that. So if something comes into your awareness and it's a feeling, it's like, I don't know what that is. I don't like it. Let's just put it away. Just pretend we're happy. Just get back on a high vibe. It's going to stay within you, and it will cause physical things to happen. It will also cause things to happen in your environment, to do with your finances, to do with your relationships. This is called soul intervention, because your soul is saying, don't want to live with this anymore. Always being able to come back into your neutral, this column of light that you are. I mean, you're like a tree. You're just like in this column of light. You're reaching up with your branches into the heavens. You're reaching down with your roots into the ground, into the earth. But within your bubble that you create yourself, in this bubble, you are unaffected. You are not influenced by the feelings of someone else, something else, or someone else. Someone, something, or something else. Yeah, there's three. You are in your own bubble, so that when you're safe in your neutral state, you feel in power, you're connected with your soul, something can go off over there and you won't be bringing it in and feeling it and holding it and giving it a story and giving it a home inside your house. The body fit for your soul is something that you are living in, and you're free to feel the feeling of it. Is there anything to do with me? Does it belong to me? No. Or therefore it can just pass all the way through. Am I learning anything from this feeling coming into my frequency? no. Or you can ask and your body will obviously give you a response of yes or no, or however that works for you. And you can understand then, okay, is there something for me to work on here? And maybe you get another yes, or maybe you get a no. Is it interesting for me to know how this came about? Do I know how to clear it? Yes, you do know how to clear it. Is it by using this? You're in a constant communication with your soul so that you feel safe, you feel held, you feel adored, and you're making a quantum leap, because so much more can come to the surface when you're allowing all these feelings to just be, that's just an energy. If you, as a human, could see and what you feel as a colour, for example, or a smell, if you could feel a feeling, and instead of like trying to name it and go, oh God, that's depression, oh that's worry, oh that's fear, oh that's, instead of just giving it a colour on a scale, it's got less of an effect on you. It's like feeling blue, feeling rather blue, you humans say. And you could just allow that to sit there and go, okay, what am I blue about? Do I need to know what I'm blue about? No, don't need to know what I'm blue about. Can I let this blueness go? Yes, I can let this blueness go. Or if you do need to know what it's about, it's see what the message is. See what it feels like on the inside of your body. The evacuation of these feelings is really going into the understanding of what these feelings are within your body, where they land, how they physically affect you. Has it landed in your shoulder? Can you not rotate your shoulder? We've had all of these feelings flow through Fiona just to show her that there's something to be released. Massive hip aches or sciatica or immobility, and feels like, I just want to be able to move, I want to be able to go for a hike, I want to be able to ride a horse, but I can't because I'm feeling so locked up in my body, so sore. What's this about? What's the story here? What's the story that I'm telling? And then you can understand as a human, I've got a story running that's creating something in me that my soul wants to just evacuate, to get rid of, but I'm holding on to it. I'm keeping that running as a story. Okay, so what colour is it? What texture is it? Where does it land in the body? How does it affect the body? What symptoms have I got with it from the body? Is there a temperature, a colour, a texture, a weight of this thing? Then, is it alive, this energy, this entity, or is it dead? Okay. Does it have a message for me? And can we bring it outside of the body so that we can actually take a look at it and have a conversation with this entity while my soul is protecting me and the dragons are protecting me, so that it doesn't come back in, but so that I can just have closure, so I can understand what's going on with this feeling, this story that's creating this feeling. There's a beauty, there's a lightness when you allow that to leave. And sometimes what happens then when you allow these feelings to come all the way through, these feels, these stories, this identity that you've identified with the abuse, with the hate, with the fear, with the anger, with the depression, with the I can't do it, with the worthlessness, then you invite in a wider spectrum. Okay, I'm okay to feel that. I know the frequency of that. I know the vibration of that. So if I pick it up again, I know, well, I've already dealt with it. I don't need to bring it back into my body again. It can be very quick for it to go. It can also hang around for a little bit because it wants to have a message and a communication with you. So we do the work to help you have a communication and understand what it's all about. And then we can see it fly off into the ether. As one of the dragons of the collective, my job is to help you have a heart rejoicing. My sole purpose is to help you live with a heart rejoicing. And the more you allow the heart rejoicing to come in, the more you need to clear up all the debris and all the stories that have been going on. They're like layers of an onion. So we clear that one up, and then we clear another story up, and then something else will pop up. And it's just a clearing, it's just an up-leveling, it's just allow you to live in this 5D consciousness, is what you humans are calling it, so that you can cope so much better, and eventually you will be off the world as you knew it. You will be confident, you'll be feeling aligned with your soul, you'll be getting intuitive messages, you'll be understanding what this whole journey is about, you'll understand what the bigger picture is for you. And this is what this collective of dragons are here to share with you, to help you understand and to love this journey with your soul. Is it always easy? No. Could it be easier? Yes. Simple is right, easy is best. That's the way that we want to flow. Now, Lunar Ray looks like this. She is pearlescent. She has a bluish tinge to her. She changes when the light changes. We're thanking you very much, Lunar Ray, for bringing us your message today. And I want to share with you now some of the major messages that Lunar Ray has shared with me, so that you can understand how you can move forward by using these particular cards. Lunar Ray says, dive into the intensity of your feelings. There's an intensity, there's a desperate, inquisitive, curious need to feel more. And Lunar Ray saying to me, until we heard Fiona say, I want to feel more, I want to feel everything, that's when we showed her what love was really all about. That's when we showed her how certain things felt, and she wasn't frightened to feel the intensity of the love or the intensity of the loss of the potential love. What she really learned was that she loved herself first. Thank you, Lunar Ray. Lunar Ray says in this card, there is so much more to be experienced. We're sending out rays of love, and they are warm and gentle, and your worries simply melt away so that you can feel, and you can be in this feeling too. If you can feel what Lunar Ray is transmitting to you right now while you're watching this call, even if you're on a replay, can you feel the intensity of the love that she has for you? Can you imagine that she's just looking straight into your world, standing right in front of you and beaming out, transmitting out for you to receive a quality of love that you've maybe never ever had before? How cherished, how proud they are of you, how they're like a cosmic parent, let me put it that way. It's a parent that you've never had. It's the love that you've never received from any parent. It is so compassionate, it's so unconditional. And this is what they want you to have, this expansive feeling that you can do no wrong, that you're always held, that you're always cared for and looked after. Okay, all right, so another message that Lunar Ray wants to bring in is amplify and express your feelings. So many humans say, I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't tell someone I love them, or I can't tell someone how worried I am, or maybe intuitively I can't tell someone that I've just had this premonition or what's going to happen to them. Or amplify and express your feelings. Find a way that you can express your feelings and express what you've picked up using your intuition, using your telepathy, using your psychic powers, because you all have them. You all have these psychic powers. They're not for the elitists. They're not for the strange and weirdos. For, so many more people are talking to animals. So many more people are actually listening to their plants about when they need water. And you feel it. Just the same as you know you need to go to the toilet. You know when you're hungry, truly hungry. You know when you're thirsty. You know when you get an intuitive hit. And it comes through in a feeling. That is the language of your soul. It is a silent, very personal language, and you'll feel it land in your body. The same as when Lunar Ray sends you these waves of love, you would just be in awe of everything that's around you. Okie doke. So another message that Lunar Ray wants us to go into is feel into the expansiveness of joy and how it alters the air around you, how it alters your experiences, how it alters physically. It is probably the best immune system boost that you've ever had when you allow joy and love and ecstasy and illumination into your system. When you remember an experience of just sheer joy, what it does to your body and the air around you, it changes everything. Now, if you've ever fallen in love, and I don't mean lust, I mean in love, infatuation, obsession, maybe those are some other words that we could use, but when you feel love for someone, just completely, it could be kids, but often the dragons often say just use something that has no other story to it, just like a puppy. When you fall into love and you're just in raptures with this particular experience, and you've just had that for an hour or something, you can fall back into that feeling at any time, and it will have huge physical, mental consequences on your body by having and allowing that feeling in. The longer we stay in a story of hate or anger or fear, it naturally transmutes into our cells and into our body, like our cellular memory holds it, and the more we repeat it, the more it creates form in our body. So hence the shoulder that doesn't rotate, it has a message for you. The hips that won't move, it has a message for you. Or the sciatica, like my story when I was happier to throw darts and daggers at my ex rather than changing my story. It took me 9 months to change my story. I couldn't even get out of bed. I had to hold my head up with my hair to get out of bed. And I went, you know what, I am the only one who can change this story. How can I put a different story in there? So I told a different story, and I repeated it for a week on my phone. I sent myself a message so that I could listen to it again and again and again, so that I could get into the feeling of it. Oh, he's just a great guy. He knows exactly what, he's a good dad. And remembering all the good things. My sciatica went within 3 days, and I'd had it for 9 months. I'd been to osteopath, kinesiologist, massage therapist, twists and turned and pulled, and I knew when I was having it done, nothing's going to change this. So you look at your beliefs. If you could feel into the expansiveness of joy and allow joy to enter into every single story that you had, you would change yourself on a cellular structure. I've been shown by the dragons the population, like our children's children in years to come, and they just don't hold on to the amount of rubbish and debris and stories that we hold on to as this generation. And that's why this generation is so important, because we're the pivotal point to let go of all the dross, to let go of like, why would I hold on to that? So we're becoming aware how we not hold on to it. Lunar Ray also says, for the next card, explore the feelings of enlightenment and lifting off the burdens of being a human. The mundane obligations of being a human, everything you've learned, everything you've forced into your brain from education, what you've been brought up with, where you stand in society. If we could lift all that up and off and just live an enlightened life. If you think about someone who's a very wise person, a very wise woman, let's say, she's the oracle, she can see and observe what's going on. She feels that you're feeling something. She knows that it's tough, but she's not feeling it herself. She's probably already been through all of that herself, and she's able to describe what's happening, understand what's going on, so you can allow yourself to sort of see it, to feel it, and just kind of make the decision that you don't want to feel that anymore because of the physical, the mental, the financial, and the relationship consequences that happen with that. So she's inviting you to explore and she gives you the ways to do that. How to explore the feeling of being enlightened. It's like you've moved past all the heavy dross. It's just like, do you know what? I've dealt with all of that. And this is when we move along the journey we are welcoming in our soul, and eventually we go under ceremony, where we place a ceremony, we go under the rainbow and we see all of the layers and the colours of the emotions and the feelings, as in the colours of the rainbow, that we're allowing ourselves to let go of. Just like, I don't want to live like that anymore. This is when we are evolving and moving into being in, again, 5D, when we are using our sixth sense, when we are not allowing life to drag us down. But we're aware of what's going on, but we're just not playing to the same tune. We're in a different playground. We've moved up to a different playground. And again, this is what Luna Ray wants to say with her card number 29. If you want to hear more of what these cards are, they're all on YouTube. You just look up the number and I'm reading them out, and I'm telling you stories about how I went through these particular journeys as well. So 29 is living in the new world. You've shifted into the new dimension on the planet. You cope very well. You can see exactly what's going on. You can see exactly what game somebody's playing. You trust your intuition. You trust that you can read accurately someone else's energy, and you can hear into and see into what their intention is. You understand all of that. You've moved into a next dimension, and you're able to ask the questions. What's the deeper dynamic with this situation? What is it that I'm needing to let go of next? So this is you shifting and lifting off into the new world, into a new dimension. And then the next one, number 30, a new day as a new human, living as a sensitive and an evolved being. And she says, are you seeking a world with more feeling because you have a need for a feeling that you believe you lack? Or is there a feeling that you've never really fully experienced yet? The new world is full to the brim of feelings, and it is a beautiful, safe world to experience all of your feelings. All feelings are accepted and all feelings are equal. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We can feel them as energy, we can put a colour to them, we understand where they resonate, we understand their frequency, it becomes a language. Like, I know what I'm feeling, I've felt it before, it doesn't bother me anymore. And this is when my clients, they can stand in the room with their arch nemesis and they say, Fiona, I felt nothing. I was not accepting it. I wasn't open to it. I was just so strong on the inside that their criticism, their objections, their bad behavior, their rejection, I didn't need it. I'd moved off into my new dimension and my soul held me safe and sound. So these are the messages that are coming through from Luna Ray, and she reminds us all the time, create your very own safe place. This is your tube, this is your channel, this is where you're just the observer, you're in neutral, like you're driving along and you just put the car into neutral. It's like, I'm not being affected, influenced, I'm not being hurt. It doesn't mean that you don't feel the love, you don't feel the hate, it's just I get it. But I'm really, really satisfied and fulfilled where I am, that I don't need to seek and chase after love or push away hurt and push away fear. So you've started to live in a very fluid state, allowing all of those things to be around you in your aura, not in your aura, but just on the outside of your aura. And you're like, I see what's going on. You're just in a very aware, sensitive feeler. Luna Ray, more than anything else, is asking us to feel our way forwards. And card number 32, stop, look, listen. What do you feel? So many humans, and they're laughing because they're saying, yes, you, Fiona, too, you've done this, we've pointed this out to you, when I've been in the swirl of everything, and they're just like, that is such a human experience, it's such a human feeling and way to do things. I'm like, oh, yes, you're right. Isn't it nice to be able to have a dragon or your soul clip that up and just kind of say, oh my word, that is such a human way of looking at things. And you're like, oh, yes, yes it is. Right, okay, I know how to change this. I'll go about and do that. Because you're the only one who can change it. The other person doesn't need to change. Your business doesn't need to change to be more financially satisfying for you, or your partner to be more loving. It's you that changes. So stop, look and listen, and look with your feelings, not just with your eyes, look with your feelings. What do you feel? There is more, so much more for you to experience. There is so much that we, the dragons and spirituals, want to share with you. You know that this is a unique and important time of change in your reality. To change your way of doing things, understanding things through the eyes of your soul and coming at things from a different angle. There is so much more available for you. But none of it is any good unless you stop the way you're doing things now. There is a possibility of living in a very, very different direction and a very different dimension. I think that is the last one from Luna Ray, and next week we'll be moving on to Sovereign. Now, these recordings and the actual cards are all available on YouTube. I've been reading out these cards now for the last year, the messages to you, and you've been choosing a card within my groups and understanding a little bit more about what's going on for you. If you want to come in at any of my groups, one of the main ones is Practical Magic, where the 8 dragons are happy to be called in, and they're happy to have their cards in your hands so that you too can start using the way of the dragon. You can start understanding how to awaken your consciousness with the dragon. Even if you believe, I'm already awake, I'm already conscious, we constantly need reminded of what it is that we're feeling. Why did that happen? What was going on there? So many people in my group, of course, in Practical Magic, say to me, oh my God, Fiona, I know this already, but I stopped doing it. It's like, yeah, I know. We have it, and then we don't have it. We have it, and then we don't have it. And then another situation will come up that you want assistance and guidance in, and you need to go into a different level of intuition, a different level of operating. That's why the dragons have this whole, in the course of Practical Magic, they have these little booklets, and they're called the Owner and Operator's Guide to Your Human, because that's what it is. How the human goes through this particular reality of being an earthling, and how you come out the other side and you're just untouched and unprovoked by life. I am Fiona Robertson. I am the Dragon Messenger of how we can do all of this gracefully and easily. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.